All right. We are now live. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for investing your time to come and learn more about how you can create a life and work that you will love. And I'll start just by briefly introducing myself. Uh, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Hannah Lecha. I am a wife for 20, how many years am I going to now? Going into 22. I'll be a wife for 22 years in July. And I am a mother of two girls, a girl aged 18 and one aged 12. And I'm an entrepreneur and a business owner. It's very interesting because there is quite actually a difference between that. So I'm at a level where in my other businesses, I am a business owner because I don't work there. I'm not part of the day-to-day running of those businesses. So that makes me a business owner. And then I'm also an entrepreneur in the other areas where I am also involved in being able to to direct the day-to-days and working there. And I am a biologist by profession. I hold an MSc in botany, a BSc in ecology. And you may be wondering what the heck is a biologist doing in this area of personal development and leadership. I had a rude awakening back then in 2000 when I just came back from my MSc. I realized that I didn't want to pursue the academic career because that is not where I wanted to be. I landed there by default, because at that time government was recruiting, students to do sciences. So there was an incentive to become a scientist. And the criteria they used was that if you scored high, you were smart, you were intelligent, then they channeled you into the Bachelor of Science stream. And that's where I found myself. But as I started discovering myself, learning who I am, what I love, what gives me joy, I realized that sitting, behind the desk in a lab under a microscope for hours is not what I want. And that is when I made a decision that I'm going to quit. I'm not going to pursue the PhD because I was at a time when I was due for a PhD. So I forfeited the opportunity to do a PhD and quit my job. I was a lecturer at UB at the Department of Biological Sciences. So I quit my job and came to Maun to join my husband who had left 2 years earlier than me. So as I discovered myself and said, what is that I wanted to do with my life? I wanted to design it. Then I realized that I wanted to work in this area of helping develop human potential. That's when I certified with the John Maxwell team in 2014 as a leadership coach. And the following years, I explored on really what is it that I want to do. And I ended up realizing that I like to work with professionals, with entrepreneurs, with people who are busy, with work, but they still want to maintain a work-life harmony. I don't like to use the word balance because it's tricky, but they want both worlds, but they don't know how to navigate them. And that's why I decided to become an executive coach and focus on coaching people at that level. And I have a passion for health that days from way back when I was at secondary school, high school, up to university. And that allowed me to incorporate that. And you will see during the session why I am very particular about health and why every person who works with me needs to start working on their health first. I'm also a speaker. I love helping people to develop their communication skills. That's why we also run a speakers club that we run virtually, where we help executives and entrepreneurs to develop their communication skills so that they can connect with their clients, they can connect with their teams. So that's one of the things that I actually do. And just briefly on what you are going to learn today. you are going to learn a lot about yourself more than really anything else. And that's how I want you to approach this. I want you to approach it with a fresh lens, a fresh perspective. And instead of trying to get the content that I'm sharing, instead, I want you to look at yourself and say, where do I fit in? You know, where do I fit in in all these things that I'm going to talk about today? Because at the end of the day, it's about you. It's not about anyone else. It's not about your employer. It's not about your spouse, your kids. It's about you. So you're gonna learn a lot about you today, and you're gonna also discern. Some of you are going to realize that they've been too comfortable where they've been. Some are going to realize that they've been playing small. Some are going to realize that they actually have a lot of potential that they could unleash over time, you know. So that's what we're going to do. And I want to start by asking you, what are your dreams and aspirations? Really, what is driving you? Where do you see yourself in the next 2 to 5 years? I want you to type there on the chat box. Where do you see yourself in the next 2 to 5 years? You know, most of the time we stop ourselves short from dreaming because we start thinking of the how, and then the brain shuts because it can't figure out the how. So I want you to forget about the limitations. If there were no limitations, if there was no financial restrictions, no time restrictions, where do you see yourself, you know, in the next 2 to 5 years? What picture do you have? Go ahead there and type on the chat box. Where do you see yourself? There is a chat box there on the dashboard. If you look at the dashboard of your, you know, of your device and where you are using it, there is a slot where you can actually type. It's a chat box. And I think this one is both Q&A and chat box. So you can actually type in one of those two. So I'm just going to give you, you know, 2 minutes to quickly do that, to quickly type there on the chat box for me. Let's see. Okay, let's see what those who are typing say. There are quite a number of you there, but I'm not seeing the responses. So can you just type there? Okay. Where are the others? I'm gonna put you on the spotlight if you are not going to show up there. As I see here on the call, I see Mugomuzi. Hi, Mugomuzi, welcome. Long time. I see Mugomuzi there. I see Shati. I see Wabuya. I see Marang. I see Batanani. I see Luda. I'm calling those who have not actually responded. Okay, let me just type that out. Okay, my love boy say, I see myself as a business consultant and real estate investor. Good. I want to own a research consultancy. Pele said to have completed my diploma in AAT. Wabuya, I aspire to be the best version of myself, living a life that I love. Wabuya, that is not a dream. Wrong. Can you please answer the question, Wabuya? Okay, I'm going to say financial free and running my own business. Okay. I see to have my small stock farm up and running profitably. Okay, and where are the responses for the rest of the people who are here? Shati, where are you, Shati? I saw Shati there on the line. I saw Marang on the line. You can't invest your time and come and stay in the shadows. I saw Luda, Marang, Umpulu, Shati, Batanani, and there is Huawei, Wi-Fi 2019. I don't know who that is. Okay, I'm say her internet is dead. Batanani to be a successful poultry farmer and also Wonderbeck producer. Okay. Luda is saying a financial free life and running my business. Okay. Thank you very much. It's very interesting responses that I'm getting. And as a coach, I'm also picking that most of you are not being very specific on what you really want to accomplish, you know. And I want to just share with you that clarity is so important in manifesting the things that we want. The more clearer you are, you know, the better and the easier, because then you want to direct, you know, the brain to help you on developing what you want. But if you are vague and you are not clear, you're not going to do that. Which is why one of the things that I help people do as a coach is to help them become very crystal clear on what it is that that we want. So this is actually a part of the 6 steps that I'm going to share with you today that you need to follow. The second step is deciding what you want. So we really go deep to help you fine-tune what it is that you want. And this is so important because we live in a time where we have not been taught how to become very clear. So instead of becoming clear and thinking, because it takes time, we don't want to do it. We just want to copy. We just want to do what we see other people are doing, even though that's not what we are wired to do or who we are wired to actually do. So this is a very important important aspect. Yeah, what we are is to become a life coach, have financial freedom, and have a healthy and happy family. Successful network marketer and to travel the world guilt-free, working flexible hours, and owning property. Okay, thank you. Say I was still typing my dream. That was an introduction. Okay, thank you very much for sharing in that much detail. Yeah, Wabuya is actually a graduate of our Ignite Your Spark program here. I think that's why she's very clear, you know, on what she wants, because she has really, you know, done the inner work and all the way needed to clarify that what she wants. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So that is so interesting because we all have dreams, you know, we all have aspirations, but somehow we kind of shut them down and settle, you know, for the status quo. So what would you say are your biggest struggles right now that would kind of stop you from reaching that dream that you have? What is that gap between where you are now and that dream that you just shared? I want you to type there in the chat box. What do you think is standing on the way, you know, between you and the dreams that you actually have? Because it's so important, you know. What are your biggest struggles right now? What do you think is standing on the way between where you are and that dream that you just casted for yourself, that dream that you have for yourself? What is standing on the way? Go ahead and type on the chat box. What do you think is standing on the way? What do you think is standing on the way? Okay, there Marang is saying personal brand expert and a successful businesswoman in farming and tax consultants. Wow, thank you so much for specifying that and being as clear as that. Okay, let's get those going. Let us get those going. I'm asking you this because if you are in the Shift community, this week we are talking about the comfort zone, how we find ourselves living our lives by default. We find ourselves living with the results that we don't want. And I said one of the reasons why we are kind of stuck there on the comfort zone is because we lie to ourselves. It's because we tell ourselves that things are fine when they are not fine. When you ask someone how are you, they say they are fine even when they are not fine. That's how we are conditioned to be. And we tell ourselves that we are doing well when we are actually not doing well. And the challenge that I gave the people in the community this week was, imagine, that someone is coming to inspect your life. What would they tell you? Maybe it's a consultant is coming into your life to just pick and have a look at your life. What are they going to say? Are they going to say, well done, you are doing well, you are doing everything that you know you need to do, you are living up to your potential, congratulations? Are they going to say that? What is someone going to say, if they are to come and snoop around your life, someone who is from outside? What would they see? What would they say? What would they say are your challenges? What would they say you need to be able to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to go, which is to reach your dreams? What are they going to say? If you are being very honest. Okay. Mohammed is saying fear of the unknown. Thank you, Mohammed. That's a valid challenge. Most of us are struggling with that, of what is going to happen once we take that leap in our life. So fear is one of those stumbling blocks. And Batanani is saying finance, lack of finance. Thank you, Batanani. Batanani, what else? Most people will start saying they lack finance when actually what's stopping them is not finance. So as a coach, I've learned that finance is not the first thing that stops people. They tell themselves the story that that is finance, but it's actually not. Because a lot of some of the things that you need to start doing, they don't even need a lot of finance. But the question is, are you doing them? Are you doing those simple things that don't need finance? Or you are just hanging there and saying you are waiting for finance and you are not doing the little things that you are supposed to be doing? And then Malebro say, I think I lack clarity and the how part. Okay. Clarity is another key piece in terms of helping us achieve the things that we want, and the how part, yes. And then Marang is what's standing in the way is fear and procrastinating, fear of going to the unknown, and just being in this comfort zone, which is now so uncomfortable. Thank you for being vulnerable. I love it when it becomes uncomfortable, because I know it's going to challenge you to do something about it. So it's fear and procrastination. Actually, fear and procrastination are almost one thing. They come together. Every time when you find yourself procrastinating, it's either you don't know the next step, or there is fear. So the fear is triggering, is triggering the brain, and instead of releasing, cortisol, releasing adrenaline, releasing those hormones that are going to slow you down from even taking action. So you are getting into the flight, into the flight mode. And then okay, Khale, let's say financial and lack of know-how. Okay, so finances and lack of know-how. Would I be reluctant to interrupt the status quo of the comfort zone and getting a paycheck which is not even meeting the needs? Okay. Thank you for that, Luda. Eating is saying fear of the unknown. Wabia is my biggest struggles are consistency and self-doubt. Okay. Self-doubt is one of those things that actually stop us. And then Khasi is saying for the first one, rightly now, because of COVID-19, my exams are postponed until and on the farm there is currently no water, but now I believe this can be started while trying to get the borehole. Yes. And Batanani is saying wonder bags are not there in the market. I'm not sure if they will be accepted. Okay, so is that what's stopping you? So that is kind of uncertainty, lack of clarity, and yeah, just fear of stepping into something that is actually actually new. Okay, thank you for that. Although I can see some people did not put up their response there. Okay, so we will continue to allow you to be there in the background, and I'll ask you a question and say, where else in your life do you find yourself just being there and not participating, not taking part, but just bringing the body, because how you show up here is how you show up, how you do things is how you do everything. Okay, all right. So that's how life is. We do have all these dreams, but then we do have these challenges, these things that are actually stopping us from achieving the things that we want. But I want to assure you that you are in the right place when you are here, because this is where we actually support people to move beyond those limitations that we are just sharing now, because they kind of fall in about around four areas. It's gonna be your limiting beliefs. Okay, normally it starts with your self-esteem and your self-image. The way you see yourself. Do you see yourself as someone who can actually do the thing that you want to do? So the first struggle for everyone is within themselves, but they'll start jumping and saying, is the money, is what, but that's not where the first struggle is. The first struggle is within. It's your limiting beliefs. What are your self-esteem, self-worth, and then it's your limiting beliefs. What stories are you telling yourself about your dream and what you actually want to do? Those are going to be stopping you. And then it's fear. It's going to be fear of the unknown, and then just being comfortable, not wanting to do the necessary work. But this is what we do here, in the program that I'm explaining to you here. We help people overcome most of those challenges, and we turn people's lives around, whether it's personal or professional, because you start working within yourself inside, because a large part of what's stopping you is not about the things that are outside you, it's about the things that are actually within you. And once you are able to get a handle on them, then you will realize that a lot is going to actually improve. Okay, Hasi is saying no side on my side now. I think it's just your side, Hasi, because I'm still online, unless someone can verify that they can hear me as well. So you may want to troubleshoot and see what's going on. Umukulu, can you troubleshoot Hasi if you are still on the line? Troubleshoot Hasi if you are still on the line. But can you hear me, the others who are here on the line? Can you hear me? It's all okay on my side. Okay, thank you. I think it's Hasi's problem. So everything that you want is actually possible once you are able to conquer the monster that is actually within. And I'm saying this because I've done this. I've started with myself, but I've helped more than 100 people, do that in different areas of their lives. I've helped them really conquer what's within and come up with a plan to design their lives the way that they wanted them. And here on the screen, I've got 4 people that I've worked with actually on different cohorts of Ignite Your Spark. And the first one on the left there, that is Keleto. Keleto was a teacher for 15 years. Actually, Keleto and Snow, the 2 people there, are actually the first cohort of my Ignite Your Spark program in 2016. Those were the first people who started with the program. And we saw Keleto quitting her job of 15 years to just go and focus on business and raising her family. And on the right there is Snow Mabutu. Snow is one of those people who inspires me, because she just did Form 5 and she thought life has happened until I met her, I think around 2004, after I quitted UB. This is my protege. Snow is my protege. It's one of those person that I actually started mentoring before I even certified as a coach. And I've seen her step up, improve her self-image to a level where you would not even believe that's where she started. You know, she started as a company secretary working for someone else. That's where I met when she did my first company documents, and we just connected. And I challenged her to open up her own company, which she actually did against all odds, and she continued developing and growing. And she's really started developing herself professionally. You know, taking courses part-time while still building the business. And right now she is at a level where if you don't know her story, you will just think that that is someone who just went to university and got her degree, but that's not. She actually sat down and designed her life the way that she wants to see it happening right now. You know, and on the bottom left, we have Ruth. Ruth is currently in Germany, you know, pursuing a degree. This was one of the youngest, you know, members of the Ignatius Spark cohorts. When I met her, she just didn't know what she wanted to do with her life. But we helped her clarify what she wanted, and she started her fashion line while she was still doing Ignatius Spark and launched it. And then on the right, we have got Kelly Ledisang, who's also a graduate. This was someone who was, you know, behind the scenes, and she normally introduces herself, I am an introvert, and that's how she viewed herself for so many years. But right now, you can tell a different story. She's a speaker, she's a leader. She has really changed her lives in so many ways, at work, you know, personally, and as a mother. So whatever that you want to do, you want to manifest, with the right system, with the right support, with the right mindset, you can actually start working on it and achieve it. I'm saying that I know because I've seen people start from nothing and go reach greater heights. So you can actually start doing that and working on that. And I'm saying this because I know that everything that you need to birth, you know, for your dream is within you. Everything is within you. Most of the time we look for solutions outside. We are all over, you know, trying to ask for advice, trying to copy what other people are doing. But the truth is that everything that we want, that we need to become who we are and manifest is within. The only challenge is that we have not been trained to access, you know, to access that faculty of inner knowing. You know, we have not been trained to access that faculty of inner knowing because of our educational system didn't allow us to do that. And secondly, because our conditioning, the way we were raised up, is not kind of congruent to how manifestation works, where we are told everything to do from the minute you wake up to the minute you actually sleep, and we were told, go to school, get a job, get a good job, work, buy a house, you know, find someone, marry them, or don't marry them, but have kids and sit there with them, and we have arrived. So all of those are contrary to how success actually happens in the real world, you know. So we need to kind of rewire, you know, rewire our minds to how things actually work. And this is where you know, the title Ignite Your Spark comes from, because it's already there within us, but we are not aware. So we just need to work on really igniting this spark, you know. And when I talk about the spark, actually, I'm talking about the energy, because once you have the energy to do the things that you want, you realize that you are able to just move out there and do them, which is more of an internal, you know, motivation, internal inspiration than waiting for someone to take you out. So most of the time people get excited when I talk about Ignite Your Spark, and they don't get to know what that spark is really. But borrowing from my experience as a biologist, you know, there is a way that you create a spark, that you create, you know, fire. There are ingredients that you actually need to do that. And those are some of the ingredients that are lacking in our lives right now, because we don't have such system to help us to you know, to turn our dreams into reality. And I want to share with you 3 things that I believe everyone needs to create their own spark, because once you are able to ignite that spark for yourself, you're going to become unstoppable. It kind of sets a foundation for you to be able to do anything that you want to do in your life, whether you are no longer working with me or you are working with someone else. But it is that foundation, which is why I recommend that everyone who has big dreams, anyone who knows they are meant to do more, anyone who knows there is more to their life than what they are doing right now, needs to start at this foundational level of really, creating or igniting that spark for themselves. That's the foundation, because once you have ignited your spark, the next other levels that are actually challenging becomes easier to navigate. So let's look at what those three things that you need to create your spark. The first one is you need oxygen, then you need fuel, and you need heat. Those are the three things. If you have done a fire at home or at the kettle cook, that's what you did. You needed to have you needed oxygen so that there can be combustion, and you needed the fuel, which is going to be the wood. You're going to have to put wood, and sometimes you put wood, you put paper, and then unless you light a match, there's not going to be a fire. So you need that heat to now finally create a fire. So we're going to use this synonym to see how can you create that fire within you that can propel you to become the person that you are meant to be, and to also do the things that you actually want to do and continue working on unleashing your dreams. And oxygen, I liken oxygen to self-care. You know that without oxygen, you won't be here. We won't be here on this earth. And it's so vital. But no one has actually taught us to really take care of ourselves beyond just bathing and then eating, going to work, or going to school, which is just a bare minimum, of survival. But there is a deeper level where you can start really taking care of yourself, which is what Ignite Your Spark really takes you deep into. How do you really care for yourself? Not just about taking a bath, putting on makeup, putting on a wig, looking beautiful. No, deeper. When you are able to take care of yourself, both at them, your mind, your body, your soul, and your creativity, your inner being. So how do you actually do that? And the first step is practicing the art of saying no more often, so that you know what you can do and what you can't do. We are also conditioned to think that if we say no, we are bad people. So we keep on piling things on us. When I start working with clients, and I'll give a typical example with Ruth. When I started working with Ruth, because Ruth is also young and she's also a Christian, Ruth was all over. Ruth didn't have time. Ruth was like going to church almost every day. And she didn't even have the time to do some of the things that she wanted. And I asked her, really, what is that you are doing, every day at church? Can you break it down for me? She was like in all the different committees, this prayer, that, this, that. And I said, okay, what is that you really value? What are your gifts? What are your talents? Where are you, where can you fit in so that you can say no to some of the things and only do some to allow you time to do other things that you need to be doing. And that was really, a game changer for Ruth. And I believe most of my clients who have gone through that. So that's the first thing, that you look at your calendar. What is it that you are doing, and learn to say no to other things so that you are honoring yourself. And if you have flown in an aeroplane, you know that when we get in, the first thing, the attendants say is that when they show us the oxygen, mask, they tell you that in case of emergency landing, put on your oxygen mask first, and then after that, that's when you can help other people. But you know that we do it the other way around. We kind of want to give without refilling, our own cups. You need to fill your own cup before you can go and help others. So we really go deep into self-care in Ignite Your Spark, and which is why when you look at all the graces of Ignite Your Spark, one common denominator is they are healthy. 2, look at their glow, look at their faces. You realize that this face is breathing, this face is alive. And because of that, we know how to spot someone who is tired, someone who's overwhelmed, someone who's unrested, because the face is the first thing that sells you off. No matter how much of makeup you're gonna put there on your face, it will still sell you out that you are not taking care of yourself. You are actually either tired, either overwhelmed, or burnt out. So we take you through that. And then the second thing is the fuel. And here we liken fuel with a support system, a system that will support you to move from where you are to where you want to go. And normally, I know we kind of want to go and look for support in the wrong places. We look for support in our spouses, in our better halves, in our siblings, in our parents, our colleagues, and people who are not even qualified to be supporting us. People who don't have any idea of what we want to do, people who have never done it, and you go there and want them to validate your dreams, to validate the things that you actually want. And when they don't and tell you something different, you get sad. What did you expect in the first place anyway? If you are going to go and ask advice about your business from your mother, who has never even run a business at all, who has never even exposed herself to the risk that you want to expose yourself to. And most of the time, our family members help us, they give us these ideas thinking that they are protecting us, they are helping us, but then they are limiting us, at the same time. So you really want to intentionally develop your own support system that will hold you by the hand, as you venture into this unknown that you fear so much. You realize that when there is support, the fear kind of lessens, because someone is holding you by the hand, someone is cheering you, someone is there to really catch you when you fall. So the support system can be an encourager, someone who's encouraging you. It could be a mentor. It could be someone who's doing, the business that you want to do, who is in a job that you aspire to reach out to. So a mentor is I'm going to talk about the difference between a mentor and a coach here. A mentor is someone who has been there, someone who has done something that you aspire to do. And they help you based on their experience, on what they know. They show you where the pitfalls are so that you can avoid them. They show you the shortcut that you can take to get to where you want to go, because they've been there, because they have done it, But then you also need the support of a coach. A coach is different from a mentor. A coach is not someone who has done what you want to do. A coach is someone who is skilled at unleashing potential, who is skilled at asking you the right questions that can help you to find answers from within and move to the next level, who can hold you accountable, who becomes your sounding board, that when you've got ideas and you've got those fears, you can bounce them back to them. Someone who will challenge your limiting beliefs, and your thought patterns, and bring you back into alignment. So you kind of have your own personal board of directors, which is what we do in Ignite Your Spark. We break people out into accountability partnerships, and they become a support system for themselves as well. So if you have a question, you have something that you are thinking, you have a challenge, instead of maybe reaching out to me as a coach, there's someone that you can actually reach out to, for help and for support. And then lastly, you need the heat. That part component that you need to be able to create your own spark. And this is so important. This is actually the cornerstone of coaching, is in this heat, because the heat comes in the form of the questions, the questions that you're going to ask yourself. And this one is critical because we are not trained to ask ourselves questions. We are not trained ourselves to quieten our mind and go with it. And this is a large part of what coaching actually does, is to really challenge you to start listening to your inner voice. So the heat is more of the questions and the ideas, because we do have ideas. How many ideas have you had ever since you finished high school? So many. And how many of those ideas have you acted on? How many have you acted on? You can type on the chat box, but that's the questions that I want you to start looking at. That you've had so many ideas, but how many have you acted on because you didn't believe on them, or because you thought they have never been done? And what difference would it make if you had someone that you can throw those ideas to, and they can help you to kind of conceptualize them and bring them into reality. So here the hit part is the questions and the ideas. That's what you need. You need a system that can allow you to ask yourself those questions, or someone that can ask you those questions that will lead to your answers. Like I talked about how creative ideas to you anytime, and most probably you've been ignoring them and thinking that is too much for you. You can't do it. Your self-image saying, no, this is not for me. These are for Malecha and other people. Whereas, we all have this potential within us. We just need to go out there and unleash it. So questions are where you ask yourself the big questions that I normally ask in coaching. If you are in the Shift community, I ask questions and everyone keeps quiet. When I'm just talking and not asking questions, people are commenting. They are excited. You're talking, they're inspired. The moment that I start asking them questions, everyone goes quiet. They're not answering the questions. They're not even commenting. They are just quiet, because thinking is not as easy as most people think. Like I mentioned, questions are the power behind coaching. That's what really drives it. The difference between a coach and a mentor, mostly a mentor will tell you what to do based on their experience. A coach is not going to tell you what to do. A coach is going to ask you questions that will lead you to your next answer. It will lead you to your next step. Why? Because questions are the power to unleash the potential that is within. So once you are able to do that, and maybe you'll be answer, okay, you're asking me questions, but Hannah, where are the answers coming from? The answers are actually coming from, they're coming from within. So the answers are from within, but with a lot of layering, with a lot of noise and self-belief and conditioning, we've kind of silenced that, faculty of thinking, that inner knowing that we all have. Is because the external world is too loud. There are so many things going on. Family members, emails, cell phones. The external world is very, very overwhelming, and it can silence this inner small voice that's wanting to emerge through you. That which is the one that births all the ideas that you actually have. And that voice is actually located at your core. That's your internal voice. It's inside. And you need to be trained. You need to learn how to access that inner voice, because everything that you need to know about your future, your passion, your purpose, your dreams is within you. And is actually, kind of tagged to that inner voice. So once you learn to harness that inner voice, that authentic inner voice, then you realize that you have started taking control of your life. And really the key to being able to hear your internal voice, your core and self, is to create an environment, a place where you can ask yourself the questions and hear the answers. And that is why I normally host retreats, because when I do retreats, I take people from their normal comfort zone, from their normal noisy environment, to an environment that is conducive for just going within and just being, And when we do our success circles, the coaching sessions, we also create such an environment as well, where you are able to hear your internal voice, and we help you to exercise the muscle of trust and believing in yourself, because that's what lacking most people. They talked about self-doubt a lot. You need to exercise this muscle, just like going to the gym, exercising your core, exercising your glutes. So the same thing needs to happen with your inner voice. You need to be able to listen to it and get answers from it. And this is why I created this program called Ignite Your Spark, to really help you bring in all those three elements that I talked about, which is to empower you with self-care, routines that can keep you grounded and anchored into who you are and what you want to be, to give you a support system. Most people were saying that they don't know the how part, we take care of that. They don't know those next steps of what they want to do, and the fear. And Ignite Your Spark is actually a program that will support you regardless of where you are right now. It meets you exactly where you are, because that is how coaching works. It meets everyone at their most immediate needs. But most importantly, it helps you to listen to that small voice inside of you that is craving for change. And one of the reasons why you find yourself in this call today is because you have honored, You have honored that little voice that tells you that you have been too comfortable. That enables you that there is more to your life than what you are getting right now. It's there, but self-limiting beliefs are going to come. Self-doubt, the world, people are going to tell you that no, you can't do that. But in this program, we help you harness, the power of this small, still voice inside you, and support you to actually amplify, that voice to a point where you can hear the message and understand it and start taking action on it. So that is what we actually do. And it offers you a conducive environment to actually grow, to become the person that you are meant to be. So one of the things that happens is that you cannot become a part of Ignite Spark and not grow. You look back. If you have been in the Shift community, if you have had all the special guests that have come here, Leti was speaking to us today and said she has worked for so many years, 20 years, I think more than 20 years, but she has grown in the last 2 years from 2017 and between now, because she took a step to actually develop herself and design her life the way that she wants it to be. And we're not just going to go, we are going to go and evolve. You are going to evolve in such a way that you're going to lose people, lose friends, people that you have been so attached to. Some of them you're going to lose them. And you're not going to be the one losing them. They're going to drop off because they can't fit in your new life anymore, because they can't relate, because they are not growing. But you're going to evolve and become a completely new being, a new being who can do new things that your old being couldn't do. You're going to get improve your self-image, improve your self-worth, your self-confidence, the way you communicate, the way you relate, and the way you lead other people if you are a leader or a supervisor at work, and the way that you manage your relationships with people at home, in your family. And one of the things that come out is the level of influence that you get once you graduate from this program. You realize that everyone becomes, leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. The question is, what influence are you, giving out there? But we are talking about positive influence here, where you go out there and start making a difference in other people's life, where you go out there and start changing lives, whether it's through your business or through, the work that you actually do, because you're going to find your voice. And once you find your voice, you are going to use it. You can never find your voice and not be able to use it, which is why most of the people who graduated from this program are speakers. They are good communicators because they have found their voice, and now they know that they can add value to people's life using their voice. And this really speaks to what we've been talking about the entire week in the Shift community. If you're in the Shift, not in the Shift community, actually is a community that I lead in Facebook. So it's mostly my clients, the people who are following me, people who are in my mailing list. So we have converged there in a close Facebook group where we interact. I share personal growth, I share leadership and health, tips. So that we talked this week that we live life in 3D. I think maybe if you are here, you may have read the email that I sent you. We live life in 3D. It means we live it through default, through desire, and through discontent. So it's either you found yourself where you are because life threw you there and you accepted that this is your reality. You are allowing life to happen and you are just following through. You are like a spectator in your life. So this is where the victim mode comes in, where people think things are happening to them. People are doing things to them as if they are not responsible. They don't have the power to turn things around in their lives. So here at the default level, you are not taking responsibility for your life at all. You are allowing life to happen. And then the second D, which is desire, you are being pulled by your desires. You are being pulled by your dreams. You are being pulled by the things that you actually want to do, which is why I started by asking you what it is that you want to achieve in your life. So at that level of desire, the changes that you want to make in your life are pulling you, to get outside of your comfort zone and do something, And that is what we call living life by design, where you now are being pulled by your desires, or you are being pushed by your discontent. Each and every one of us has areas in their lives where they are not happy. Whether you are not happy with your weight, you are not happy with your health, you are not happy with your job, You are not happy with the way your business is going. If you run a business, you are not happy with the relationships that you have. And that discontent becomes too much and to handle, so that they pushes you to do something, push you to do something about it. And when your desires are pulling you, you know, towards taking action, and your discontent is pushing you towards taking action to change your life, that's what we call that now you are living life by design. You are now deciding to take responsibility of your life and design and create it the way that you want it, the way that you know it will give you the results that you actually want. So for me, I come from a very humble beginning. I was raised in a family of 9 children. I'm the second child. And, you know, it was not easy growing up. My mother has never really worked, she only standard 7, and there were many of us. So I kind of grew up, you know, in that, you know, laid-back environment, you know, where we are accepting the things. But fortunately for me, I think God deposited that, you know, really that inner knowing, because I started challenging the status quo from a very, very early age, when I couldn't just accept things that I didn't want. I couldn't just accept things that I knew were not in alignment. So I started challenging adults, challenging people, challenging systems from a very, very early age. But it was only after I decided to quit my job and redesign my life, I realized that, you know what, you can actually design your life the way that you want it to go. But it's something that is not conventional, because not many people have been taught how to do it. It's something that you can learn, you know, and practice. There's actually a system to doing it. And once I learned the system, then that's when I decided that, okay, I can share this system with other people. And that's what we do in Ignite Your Spark. There are 6 steps that we actually follow to help you ignite a passion for a life and a work or business, whatever that you want, that you will actually love. Because you stop becoming a victim, you stop becoming a spectator in your life, and you start taking responsibility and to actually design your life the way that you want to. I'm just going to take you through the 6 steps, and then I will wrap it up so that you have an idea of what needs to happen there. So let's see how we're doing with time. Okay, still have some more time. So the first step is for you to determine where you are. Like I'm saying, that we are always lying to ourselves. We are thinking, no, we are doing well when we are not. So here, the first step is to really become brutally honest with yourself, you know, and evaluate where you are right now, what's working and what is not really working. Because unless you become, you know, brutally honest with yourself and admit that you are not where you want to go, you are going to keep on going in circles, round and round in circles, you know. You are not going to be able to, you know, to move forward. And this takes courage. It takes courage to admit that you are not where you are. It takes a commitment to do that. I'm saying it takes a commitment because there's a difference between being interested and being committed. And most people are just interested. You know, I know that people who have been in my mailing system for more than 6 years now, and they've never taken a step at all. At least if you are here in the webinar, I say this is a step that you've taken, but they've never taken the next step to improving their lives. But I normally say that you are never in my midst because of a coincidence. Whether you are in my mailing list, or whether you are following me on Facebook, whether you are on my Facebook community, you are there for a reason. You know, you are there for a reason. Okay, I see people are raising hands. Let me see if it's a raised hand that needs to say something, or if it's just a mistake. Okay, if you think I'm not audible enough, you want to check. You want to check your device. If you say you can't hear anything, can you check your device? Batanan. So let's see. I also see that there are some hands raised. Let me go there and see. Okay, but I'm not, okay. Okay, I think it was Lida's hand earlier on. All right. Let me lower it, otherwise it's going to keep on confusing me. Okay, so what I was saying was that it's not a coincidence that you are actually here. You are here because there's something that is pulling you towards the kind of work that I do. There's something that is craving to be birthed through you. It's either you are ignoring it or you are afraid to take that next step. So it's not a coincidence. You are here for a reason. And but if you have been following for many years and you are not taking any steps, so then that's where you need to ask yourself what it is that is holding you back, what it is that is actually limiting yourself. So the first step is to determine where you are right now. So you're going to snoop around in your life. You know, I'm not going to bring a consultant, like I mentioned, to snoop around in your life. That's not what we do in coaching. You are going to do it yourself. Okay, let's see. I think there's another. Okay, Unguli is saying a lot of people are experiencing network problems. Even hairs keeps buffering. Okay, but Marang, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Because if my audio or my connection is okay, then it means I will share with the recording. I'll share them the recording so that they can hear me properly. So just stay in there. I think it's the network. Now that everyone is moving around. Okay, Maran said she can. Okay, thank you. So I'm recording it, so I will share the recording. So I'm not going to ask someone to snoop around your life, you know, like I said. No, we don't do that, but we will support you so that you evaluate your life, your environment, and identify where you are right now so that you can become clear on where you want to go and plan the best route to get to where you want to go. So this is the first step that we actually do. The second step will help you decide what it is that you want. This is so crucial. It's so crucial because one of the reasons why people are not getting what they want, it's not about the money, it's not about anything else, it's because they don't know what they want. They can't say it in very clear terms. And the brain can't hear what they are saying because clarity is so important. That's how the brain works. The minute that you become very clear, that's when you start really, you know, seeing the path getting revealed for you. And that's why Ben thinks that the indispensable first step to getting the things you want out of your life is this: decide what you want. And how many people sit down to seek clarity on what they want? They don't, because it's either you may need to go and invest time and money, and people don't want to pay for the services that they actually need. So those are some of the things that you are going to encounter. And one of the reasons why we don't get the things that we want is, one, we have not decided, we haven't defined in very clear and compelling terms, or we have given up because you have been trying on your own for a long time. You know, just like the story of that frog jumping, trying to get out, and ended up giving up and just staying there. So some people are already there, but we know that programming has gotten in your way because there's a tiny seed of you that you who you were meant to become. It's still there. It knows what you are capable of, but then all the noises, that are coming out from people, from your relatives, from the society expecting you to do things, has buried in this tiny little voice. So we need to dig deep to take out this small inner voice, so that you are able to really connect with who you are and what it is that we want. And because of that, we end up settling and just living someone else's dreams. We heard what Letty was saying, that she was this morning. She was just a bystander in her marriage, in her family, because she had actually stopped dreaming. She had just settled for anything that was actually there. And one of the things that we do, we help you to reconnect with who you are at core, so that you own who you are and express it freely, because your dream is tied to your authentic self. Once you start faking and pretending, you are building a very big gap between you and where you want to go, between you and your dreams. So once you reconnect with your authentic self, then it kind of set you apart to actually go out there. So one thing that happens in the network space, that you reclaim your true self. So you start honoring your preferences. You stop putting everyone before you. You decide that you are also worth the investment of your time. You are worth the investment of your resources. It's not just out there helping other people when you are neglecting yourself. So you stop saying, I don't know, I don't care, it doesn't matter. You break the limits that are holding you back. And that's the beginning of your new life, when you are able to do that. When you are able to get to what you really want with no fear, no shame or inhibition, then you know you have done the heavy lifting. And now you can start working on your dreams and what you want to do. The third step is you want to get clear on what really gives you joy. What is your inner motivation? What pushes you? You know, what makes you who you are? What drives you to do the things that you want? And this is a very, very important part that most people have never taken time to do, because your passion is what gives you the energy to make the changes that are needed to create your ideal lifestyle. That is what gives you the energy to wake up every day and go to work every day and go run your business. And without tuning into that thing that gives you joy, you are going to be running after everything, thinking you want the money, thinking it's the material things. But at the end of the day, it's not the material things, that gives you peace. No, it's not. It's the small things that we neglect, that are not even bought, that actually gives us that joy to continue doing the things that we want. But interesting, when surveyed, 200 of the most successful business people attributed their success to always doing what they were most passionate about. That's what a survey revealed. But then guess what? Another one revealed that only 20% of workers are giving their full discretionary effort, and 38% are disengaged or disenchanted. Why? Because they were not operating in their area of passion. They have not discovered what is that lights them up. So once you discover that, then you realize that nothing is going to stop you from moving forward to achieve your dreams. The first step is we decide, why are you here? What is your purpose? And really, purpose is really, an area that helps you to find identity and meaning. So it's more of an identity and a meaning, topic. Everyone is saying, I don't know, I want to find my purpose, but what exactly is that? Is really what is it that you want your presence in this world to do? What difference do you want to make? And that's tied to who you are, really. That's if will give your life meaning, so that you are not just going around aimlessly doing things that you don't want. Once you identify your purpose, everything that you do is going to be aligned. It's like it becomes a true, your true north. It becomes your compass that directs you to where you really want to go. And statistics show that only 3% of people ever find their true life's purpose. Most never take the time or make the effort. And those who do often become frustrated as they struggle to figure out how to actually find it. So fortunately, in Ignite Your Spark, we guide you through a process that will help you, identify what your purpose is and restructure your new life and redesign it in alignment with that purpose. And it's so important to be able to do that, because there's only one you. And the greatest strategy in life is not death, but a life lived without finding, knowing, and living your purpose. Once you are able to nail this, then you realize that a lot of things are going to flow in your life. And then the fifth step is where you now design your life, because once you have identified where you are, where you want to go, and you know the gap, now you start filling in, bridging that gap. And once you decide what it is that you want, what it is that you are passionate about, who are you and why are you here, then you've kind of gotten a stronghold of who you are and your life. So you can now design your life the way that you want to. So in this aspect, we actually take you through a process that helps you to redesign your life based on what has come up on the other four steps. So then you now look at, this is the renewed life that I want, so that now you can start working on bringing that into alignment. And the sixth step is where you make it happen. This is where you come up with a blueprint of what it is that you really want in your life. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to focus in? It's very interesting. Most people come like I was listening to some of the things that people want. That there are actually things that are at the surface level. But once you really go deep within, you realize that sometimes the things that you thought you want are not what really matters to you anymore. So this becomes interesting now when someone has a tug of war, because they have always told themselves that this is what they want. But when they go through the process shows them that no, but that's not really what you want. What you want is this. They now start a tug of war of whether to take up the new awareness that they're getting and run with it, or they get stuck into the old self that is saying do that. But this is an interesting part because here you kind of then, once you have your blueprint or what you want to do, you then have to start creating a plan to secure it. Because there is a code that says that if you fail to plan, you are going to fail. So it means that you need to have a plan so that you can now start executing the plan. But most of the time we don't have that. We just live our life in default, our next step, tomorrow I'm doing this and then I'm doing that. But we never sit down and create a plan to really create the things that we actually want. And normally this is a very challenging step, because it's exciting and intimidating at the same time, because you realize that maybe you have really dreamed so big that you have never ever thought that you could expand to that. But because you are growing and you are evolving, you are actually becoming the person who can now manifest that big dream, So you are able to now chunk it down into bite size and really develop a plan that feels manageable and doable. So you see yourself as someone who can actually, do that. And I think I do have a lot of, clients who have come to me not even thinking that they could do things that they are now doing, but then they realize that they are able to actually do them. So I'm just gonna, briefly just summarize what Ignatius Spark does. It's a 12-month group coaching program. You have the first part, which is the first 6 months, is inner work. So this is where we are looking at your mindset. We are looking at, your soul per se. It's more self-discovery, really, to get to really know who you are and what it is that you want. And then the second part, the remaining 6 months, then we look at the strategy. Is where you start implementing your blueprint. And this is a stage also where you are now really growing into the person who can turn that dream or that vision into reality. So it's a process, because this is not something that you can do in a one-day workshop where you become overwhelmed with content. It gives you the time to actually, get insights and start implementing on the insights that you are actually getting, so that you start seeing the results. And this is where you get the support from me as a coach, but from also the other participants that you are assigned as accountability partners. So you kind of have a good support system rallying behind you to see you succeed, whether you are hosting your new businesses, whether you are doing something new. You already have people who are supporting you, who are attending those things. You always know that someone is going to be there to cover your back. And I'm not going to go much into the delivery of the program to the point, because if you feel like you need this, I'm gonna ask you to book a conversation, because Ignatius Spark, the enrollment is by conversation, because we need to decide if it's the right fit for you. And that's where I break it down, for you in a conversation where it's me and you. It's like the one-on-one conversation. But this program, when I started it many years ago, about 5 years ago, it was actually an in-person program. So we met once a month, at a place, at a hotel, and we did a lot of the work there. But over the years, in 2017, I actually transitioned this to a virtual program, because I had people or clients wanting to do it from different parts of the country, different parts of the world. So I then, because that's why I saw the world was going virtual. I saw the world was going virtual many years back, and I kind of transitioned much earlier than what people did with COVID. So 2017 started doing it virtually. It means it's online, and the coaching calls are done the same way that I'm doing now. And the four basic components are that you have a teaching video that is released for you to actually watch, and then you have a worksheet, a workbook where you do your inner work, and then you've got a coaching call, it's a group coaching call because it's a group program. But right now, you have an opportunity, you have a choice of choosing a level where there is also one-on-one coaching and a level where it's only group coaching. So the investment for these two are actually different. So when you have one-on-one coaching as well, the investment is slightly higher. It's higher than when you only access me as a coach through the group. And this is for you if you have been thinking, what's the difference between that? And when you have got access, one-on-one access coaching with me, it means you can phone me when you need support. You can send me an SMS. You can text me. But if it's a group program, you don't have access to do that. You can only communicate with me through the group and through the email, because it takes time to actually give someone personalized attention, you know. And I'm able to really support you where and meet you where you are. If I see something that I know would benefit you, I reach out to you. If you are a one-on-one coaching client, and share with you that if you are doing something, you are launching, you are getting a new job, I take time to help you prepare, guide you through that. If you are hosting a workshop, I take time to help you structure that. So I really give you that personalized support if you have paid extra for one-on-one, which is in the diamond tier. So we have a platinum, which is only group coaching, and we have a diamond tier, which is group coaching plus one-on-one coaching. This is a new, this is new. In the previous groups, there was only one group, so I gave everyone my time. But gone are those days, because time is limited, so we need to really value it and take it seriously. So I know that for most of you, there are a lot of things that come up. Every time when you want to take a step, when you want to get outside of your comfort zone, the comfort zone pulls you back. It pulls you back, and it does so with what we call consideration. So you're going to start thinking of so many things. And the first consideration is, I don't have time. I don't have time. And what I'm saying to people who keep on saying they don't have time, they don't have time for who? They don't have time for themselves. So it means they don't really take themselves that seriously enough, to invest time on themselves. So they would rather be investing time on other people and other things except themselves. And when you say you don't have time, I always say that people who say they don't have time, those are my clients, because where is their time, since we all have 24 hours in a day? We all have 24 hours in a day. Where is yours going? So if you think you don't have time, you really need coaching, because you need to sit down and look at where is your time going? How are you utilizing your time? So the first step that you need to do is to do that for you, so that you can regain those hours back and channel them into something that is actually something that is actually productive, rather than into something that is not giving you any value. And then the other thing is just the doubt. Most of my clients who have been thinking that is this gonna work for me? The only way to know if it's gonna work for you is if you do it. Otherwise, you are going to keep on thinking that it's not gonna work for you. It's working for other people, but not. People said, no, Malta, you don't understand. You don't understand my circumstances. No, I do. Everyone has circumstances, but we need to move beyond those circumstances. You cannot allow circumstances to control and rule your life. And then the other consideration is people thinking, you know what, I can just do this myself. The interesting thing is, I can give you this whole program and you go and do it at home on your own. You're not going to do it. The same reason why you have books on your shelves that you have started and never finished reading. The reason why you've got so many books, you have read them, but you're not implementing a single idea from the book, is what is going to stop you from being able to implement this program on your own. Because great leaders know that they can't trust themselves. They need someone to hold them accountable. So a large part of coaching and large part of this program is the accountability that you get, so that you are able to stay on track and do yourself. That ability to have someone who's going to challenge you to step outside of your comfort zone, to get outside of your story. Those stories that you are telling yourself, those excuses that you keep on saying when you're supposed to take a step. Left to your own devices, you are going to continue giving yourself excuses until the day you go to the grave. And imagine if you have been on my mailing list for the past 5 years, 3 years, imagine if you had taken a step 2 years earlier or 3 years, where would you be now? But that thinking that you can do it on your own. I normally ask my clients that, okay, what makes you think you can do it on your own now if you're going to do it for this many years? Really? So we get to say that people will think, no, you can read books, you can read 100 books. Go ahead and read the 100 books. And let's see how many ideas from those books are you going to implement. Are you going to ask, when you have questions to ask, do you contact the author and ask them? You need to have someone that you can ask, someone that you can throw back your ideas to. And the other reason that stops people from asking for help, especially maybe, I think even men, especially men, because there are men here, I think is this thinking that I'm weak if I ask for help. And especially if I ask for help from a woman, I'm going to be weak. And people think that only losers need coaches, only people with problems need coaches, only people who have problems need coaches and therapists. The truth is, it's not. We all need support. We are limited in the things that we know, in the things that we can do on our own. And this is why, for me, I've really invested a lot of money in my life from the time I started in 2014 and now. I've invested so much in getting support, in developing myself, And this month, right now in COVID, when I asked people in my community to actually evaluate and unpack and repack their bags, I did the same exercise. And I looked at my suitcase, my work suitcase, where it is my career and everything, my business. And I realized that I've made traction, but I'm actually not making a lot of progress. I'm not where I want to go. And I decided that I need support now. I have a personal coach, but I realized that I need a business coach. I need a business coach and a mentor who can also shorten the distance that I'm taking, who can show me how to do things, instead of just challenging me to get out of my comfort zone, challenging me to unleash my potential, but also walk me by the hand and show me how to do some of the things. And I took a big leap of investment. I'd never invested so much in my life, in my business, that night after I swiped that money, I couldn't sleep. And I couldn't tell anyone. I couldn't tell my husband about it. I couldn't tell my team about it, until after I talked with the owner of the business, and they have decided to ease some of my payment options so that I can get established first. That's when I was able to tell Umkhulu about it. I was able to tell one of my mentors about it, but I was scared because that was way beyond my comfort zone. I had never really taken such a huge investment on asking for help and developing myself. And when you talk about paying for coaching in the US, most people when I share my price, they say I'm expensive. And I've always told people that if you can't afford coaching from me, you are never going to afford any other coaching, because I've never paid for coaching in Botswana or anywhere. I've started paying for coaching in the US, and it's not cheap, and it's not getting any cheaper. The moment that you start converting, the dollars is so high. So I always say, use me while I'm still charging in pullers, because I'm telling you, in the next 2 years, I'm not going to be charging in pullers. I'm not going to be looking at how much people are earning in Botswana. Can they afford me? Because I'm going to stop looking within the borders of Botswana. I've started now looking beyond the borders, appealing to people who are outside the borders, who can pay me how much I am actually worth compared to my colleagues out there, compared to the investment that I've put on myself to develop myself to the level that I am. So really, it's not weak to ask for help. Let go of that ego. It's just your ego telling you stories, telling you lies. We all need support. We all need help. And then the most common one that's going to stop you is that it's too much money. Then you need to look at, there's a difference between spending money and investing money. When you go to the shop, you buy yourself clothes, you are spending money. When you go to a coach or a mentor and you pay for them to support you is an investment. You are going to see the results from that investment. So start looking at those two things differently. Spending, you are spending on a commodity. You are buying food, you eat the food, you have spent the money. You have bought alcohol, you have spent the money. But you are paying for somebody's adding value to your life. That is an investment. You are going to see the return on those investments at a later time. And then also when it comes to money, I want to ask, what criteria do you use when you want to invest? Are you asking yourself, how much does this cost? Because for most, that means how much money and time does that cost? And then anxiety starts setting in for you. But what you overlook is the real cost. The real question is, what is the cost of staying in the same position that I am in today costing me? I'm going to repeat that. What is the cost of staying in the same position that I am costing me? What is the cost of feeling the same pain every year, year after year, costing me? What is the cost of not working on my dreams costing me? What is the cost of not improving my relationships costing me? That's how it is. Because unfortunately, most of us, we overlook the long-term gain and just stay in the safe zone, which is comfortable. But how is that working for you in the long run? That's what I always ask when I talk about comfort zone. How is that working for you in the long run? So you really want to make a decision based on what is the cost of inaction? What is the cost of not following your dreams? What is the cost of not addressing the discontent that is in your life? What is that content? What is that cost? What is the cost of waking up every day, going to a job that you don't love, going to see that boss or that supervisor that you don't even want to see every single day, waking up and not even wanting to get out of your bed? What is the cost of doing that for 10 years? Same thing, year after year. Setting a goal during the beginning of the year, trying to do the resolutions. Then by the second week of January, you have not done a thing and you give up, you wait for another year, and the same thing continues. So really look at that. What is the cost of not doing that? And then the other cost is that most people are going to be thinking that, what if I don't get results? And definitely you may not get results if you don't do your part, because coaching is more about how much you put in. You can't expect the input to be thin and the output to be fake. That one, even a miracle, is not going to work. So it means you need to do the work. You need to do your part. And that is why it is actually a process. That is why we do it over time, because you require to go through that process. You require to grow. You require to unlearn some of the habits that are stopping you from going to where you want to go. You need to go and break some of the patterns that you have developed, you have learned over time. You need to change the belief systems that are holding you hostage. So it requires a process. You can't unchange a behavior that you learned in 10 years, over a day or over a week. It requires time to go through this unlearning process. We start by unlearning some of the things that we have learned, and then we relearn. We relearn new things that will help us to actually move forward. So you really want to look at this, and the other thing that I want to come is your limiting beliefs, with all the stories telling you so many things that 12 months is a long time. Does it mean I'm going to be paying every month? Yes. Are you eating every month? As long as you are eating every month, waking up every day, going to the bathroom every month, you can afford to invest in managing those activities every month. So those are some of the questions that are going to come. You're going to hear a lot of stories, a lot of voices. Some have even said that woman is going to cheat you and eat your money. And I'm asking, if you go and pay at ShopRite, are they stealing your money? You are getting a service, so you are getting service in exchange of that. So those are some things that are going to really come up for you, and I want to highlight them, because I know they are what's going to stop you from moving. You are going to live here excited and inspired like everyone else. That's why I don't like inspiration. I always said, you move beyond inspiration. You will be inspired, but when you're supposed to take the next step, all of those voices are going to come all of those considerations are going to really to show up. So before I tell you what's next and what you can actually do if you want to continue with this conversation and move beyond your comfort zone, let me see if I can put some people here on the spotlight. I can see I've got some of the people who have graduated are actually here. So let's see if there's someone who's willing to share with you their journey. Okay, I can see there's Wabuya and there is Marang and there is Umhulu. So there are only 3 of you. So there's no place, you can't run anywhere actually. So I think let me start by unmuting Wabuya. Wabuya, I'm going to unmute you and just briefly share the insights, some of the highlights of your journey, in Ignite Your Spark, and what you can say to someone who's here on the fence, wondering if this is worth their time and their investment. So let me bring Wabuya and unmute him. Yes, Wabuya, you are unmuted.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Wabuya. Welcome. Yes.
Thank you. For me, Ignite Your Spark has really been a blessing, and above all else, I've learned to really dig deep within and get to discover who I really am. Before I joined Ignite Your Spark, I was really struggling with a lot of limiting beliefs and a lot of people bondage. I was this person who believed that I had to always do things correctly the way people want me to do them. Like I sort of had people put expectations on me and thought I actually had to live life according to those expectations. But after Ignite Your Spark, I actually learned that the life that I was living was not the life that I wanted. So I got to look at life with a different lens and figure out that I can actually create the life that I want. So I learned to care for myself and be unapologetic about it, to invest in a lot of personal development. And I gained a lot of confidence, a lot of self-esteem. Now I don't depend on other people to validate me, but I know who I am and I want in life. So yeah, I actually encourage someone to go for Ignite Your Spark and not let limiting beliefs hold them back, not let money hold them back, because it's a lifetime investment for you. In the long run, you look back and realize that actually this is the best thing that I could have done for myself, because we chase after a lot of things but neglect the one thing that you're supposed to invest in, and that is yourself. So if you've invested in yourself, you'll realize that you don't have to be chasing after things that don't serve you. And the main lesson that I've learned is that when you have values, you are not supposed to you don't go around doing everything else, but you focus on the things that serve you. Those that don't serve you, you don't even give them the light of day. Thank you.
You are most welcome. And can you share what was your blueprint? What came up of after that 6 months? Your blueprint that now you are working on.
Okay, I'm now working on becoming a life coach, because I figured out that I enjoy encouraging people, and I love wanting to design the life that I want to live. That's what really came up when I was doing Ignite Your Spark, that I wanted to be a life coach and to help other people also discover who they are, their deepest core and their purpose in life. So that's what I'm working on after Ignite Your Spark.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much for sharing. And one of the things, like she said, with Ignite Your Spark is you build your self-confidence, you build your self-esteem. So I can confidently put anyone who has done Ignite Your Spark on the spotlight, whether it's at my event or anywhere else. I can confidently put them on the spotlight, because I know that they have what it takes they have developed the muscle, you know. They've developed the muscle, they've developed the self-confidence. They know that they have got value. So it's not about saying, okay, you tell me 3 days or 5 days in advance so that I can prepare. They are ready. We are always ready. But there's a little bit that saying you're not ready, but everyone is always ready. They always know what they want to say, what they want to do. It's the limiting beliefs, it's the self-image that's stopping them from really getting out there. And once you take it outside of the picture, then you realize that anything that you want is within your reach. So let me unmute Marang. Hi, Marang.
Hi, Coach.
How are you?
Good evening. I'm fine.
Okay.
And hello, everyone listening to this session. Should I go on, Coach?
Yes, yeah, just go ahead. Yes, Marang.
Okay. Ignite Spark is a very, very valuable program to undertake. I, for one, when it started, it was in January when I got to learn about it when we were at the retreat. And the first thing that came to my mind was, it's January, I'm going to pay school fees, I don't have money. But little did I know, fortunately, I was with the same group of people. They encouraged, let's try and do this. I was with Wabu at the retreat and Bono, and we all agreed, let's give it a try. So I did go ahead. I had to find ways of making it possible. I did. And I enrolled into the program. And from there, I never looked back. Most definitely, I never looked back. And my breakthrough came when we were doing the snooping around. When others got their revelations, I felt nothing is happening to me. But there came a moment, because it will always be in your mind, you're always snooping around when all these feelings that you've been having, they're coming up. And at times you just feel so bottled up, and you need the coach to open so that you can talk to her and explain what's happening into your life, and be able to go ahead and to deal with those matters that you were dealing with. And from there, I didn't have a vision in my life. For starters, I went to the retreat because I just felt I'm not satisfied with my life. I just needed something that I can do. I was turning 40 and I just said, there's something about my life. I am not completely satisfied. Career-wise, I was doing well, but there was that thing lacking in my life. And through the Ignite Spark program, because it, like Coach was saying, it's within you. That thing that was in me, which had been buried, was able to be ignited during the program. I was able to establish that, indeed, I love shopping and I love fashion. And that is where my blueprint came up, that this is what I always want for, something that is my passion, something that I want to do. And that is what currently I am doing now. I'm working on myself to become a personal brand expert. And also, it also helps, like those dreams that you used to have. Okay, I want to run a business and everything, but we always cover them down. As life happens, we just cover up those dreams and they don't come up. But through Ignite Spark program, they always come up. They will always, your dreams, they'll come as revelations as you go on with your personal development. And once you do personal development, you never stop. I, for one, joined the Speakers Club, and I was very, very scared. I wouldn't, not even like this, would be able to dream that I would talk to people. Worse, unexpectedly, like Coach was saying, she just picks you up and say something. And I'm able to do that now with great confidence. I don't fear. The moment she picks up my name, I will be able to share, because it's my story, it's what I've experienced, and I don't have a problem facing people and experiencing that. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Marang, for sharing that. Marang has actually done a soft launch for her brand, and now she's just working on activating that. She's actually doing both at the same time. She's developing herself, up leveling her skills, at the same time, and then at the same time she's now building the business and fleshing it out. So that's why I'm saying that this would really meet you exactly where you are and help you move to the next level. Then there's Umkulu here. Let me see if Umkulu can actually say something. Because her internet connection was actually very poor. Okay, so Umkulu.
Hello.
Yes, Umkulu.
Good afternoon, coach. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, like everyone has already said, Ignite Your Spark really works in all areas of your life. It really helped me a lot. My relationship side, my kids, my family, even at work. I relate well with my significant other. I relate well with my manager. I relate well with my family, even my kids. I bond with them. I've got a good relationship with them. And then I have also found my voice during Ignite Your Spark. One thing that I have realized is that we heard that voice when we are young, and then when we grow up, just disappear. I don't know how we found ourselves lost anyway. So I really found my voice during Ignite Your Spark. I can stand up for myself, especially when I know my rights. I can just talk. It has also up-leveled my self-esteem. My confidence now is better. I can express myself. I can even just shoot straight to what I want to say when I communicate with someone. Unlike before, when you want to say something, I just keep quiet without even saying anything because of the self-esteem. So now I just communicate better. And then one thing is that it taught me that happiness is a choice. Happiness is within, because sometimes we look at the tangible things and forget about the non-tangible things. But that's the things that gives us joy, or that makes us what we are. So generally, like, it really worked in all aspects of my life.
All right, thank you very much. That is why I'm saying this is this is a foundation. Out of all the coaching programs that I do, if you have big dreams, if you want to get out of your comfort zone and really turn your life around, this is the foundation that I recommend for everyone to take before they start working on other things. And it's very interesting that I get people, some of my clients, when they just want to get into business coaching, and you realize that with some of the habits that you actually have, you're gonna even have challenges running that business. So you need to start working on yourself because your business will never grow. A business will never grow beyond the business owner. So as the owner of the business, you become a limit. You become a limit to the business. You are like the ceiling. So if you want the business to grow, you need to develop. You need to keep growing, at the same time. So that's one of the things that we are actually missing when we are being developed for business. People are just looking at the strategy, looking at the business plan, but they are leaving out the development part. Developing the owner of the business is a crucial, part of that puzzle. That if I look at some of my clients that I've worked in who are doing their businesses, they've really done so well, because as they grow, as they develop themselves, as they start seeing things differently, as they start trusting themselves, they're able to make better decisions for their businesses than someone who is waiting for someone to tell them what to actually do. So it's actually like an all-rounder. So we've got a few minutes. If you are on the line and you have been listening, you feel like you want to say something, you want to ask a question, you want to comment, I'll give you the opportunity to do that. But let me share with you the next step. So the next step that I want you to do is I want you to book a next steps call. I said Ignite Your Spark is by enrollment. It means I have a one-on-one conversation with you. And if it's the right fit, we get you enrolled in the program. So the next step is to book that. So I want you to take this link here. And then when you go there, you are going to fill a form. And once we receive that form, we will call you to schedule an appointment with me. It's a complimentary session that you are not going to pay for. But if you make a commitment that you are doing it, then do it, because it is wasting of my time. I don't do that for free all the time. People pay to come and speak with me one-on-one. But here you have an opportunity to come and speak to me one-on-one. Even if you don't end up enrolling in the program, you still have an opportunity to come and talk to me, and I help raise your level of awareness so that you can take your next steps. So take that down. Make sure you copy it. You copy it properly so that you can follow through that. We will also send it via email so that if you have not taken it properly, then you can take it. But do that. I've got limited slots for this coming week. Then we can schedule you for that conversation that will help you take your next steps. So at this time, I would open the lines for if you have a comment, you have got a question, you want to say something, maybe you have been having a burning, desire to share when I was, going through the session. I'll give you the opportunity to do that. Just raise your hand, and I will unmute you so that you can talk. Okay, is there anyone who wants to say something, ask a question, say a comment? Okay, I think I'm seeing a hand that's raised. Okay, that's Khasi. Yes, Khasi, go ahead.
Yeah, hello, coach, and all the other attendees. For me, I've seen people whom I've done some of Hannah's sessions with take their next step and grow. And I've seen the change in them. So this time, really, I'm not missing it because I want to see what's going to happen with my life. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Khasi, for really bearing the witness that you may not have been in the program, but you were there. You have seen, people take their next step and transform their life. So now you know that you don't want to be left behind. Okay, Khali, let us say thank you so much for your continued support. I'm humbled. You are most welcome. So anyone who wants to say something, comment, ask a question? Okay, Malebogo, I'm gonna unmute you. Yes, Malebogo, go ahead. Malebogo, can you unmute yourself? I'm trying to unmute yourself. This side is not doing it. Okay.
Okay, I have unmuted myself.
Yes, thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Can
you.
you hear? Okay. Good afternoon. I just wanted to say thank you for such a great opportunity. And I also want to say I have seen a lot of people improving, those who have enrolled in Ignite. I mean, you could see a really great change. People who have shared their stories. Glad, and I'm one of the people who have said, you know what, this is the time I want to take control of my life. I want to take a step.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Malebogo, and I know you can reach really great heights if you just take that step and get the support and the guidance that you need to bring your dreams to reality. So congratulations. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, there is Luda. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Luda.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy and very thankful to be on this journey because all these people who are testifying, they are my classmates, if I may to say. I'm still in this journey, and I don't see myself going back. I'm still just taking the steps, little but surely. I will reach there.
Thank you very much. Yes,
And,
it requires commitment and persistence, so that
actually, I've taken it intentionally, and it's only that I think I'm not committing enough, but I'm committed to it.
Thank you very much for that honesty, Luda. Commitment is so important. And I normally teach my clients the difference between commitment and interested. If you are interested, you only do it when it's convenient, when it's easy. When it starts getting challenging, you stop. But if you are committed, you are all in. You stop the excuses. You see the challenges, but you decide to move beyond the challenges. You feel the discomfort, but you don't allow the discomfort to stop you. You use the discomfort to propel you to move forward. So commitment is so, so important when it comes to getting outside of your comfort zone and changing your life. And that is the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. Is that successful people are committed. They're committed to do it all the way to the end, not just halfway. They don't just stop when they see a little bit of light shining and thinking that now they've reached the end of the tunnel. They know that the light is setting the path for bigger things, to move them and propel them forward. Thank you so much for being vulnerable and sharing to that effect.
Thank you, Coach. I think that is how I am. I always, when I said, well, I've left something, I will just walk.
Yeah.
If people run, I will walk until I reach the
Yeah.
height. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let me see. I'm seeing the comments. I'm not sure if it's someone who wants to say something or someone who's saying goodbye. All right, but thank you so much for this, and I especially thank you. I'm seeing people that I've seen here in the past. It's good to see you here. Iting Bakwasi. Good to see you. You made my day. Good to see you here. It's been a while. Last time I saw you in Warapa. So thank you very much for your time. And there's someone whose number is just IMHPAQ. I don't know what's that, whether it's a phone or what. Thank you for your time. Thank you, and thank you everyone who is here for your time. I'm gonna respect your time, so we will end at this time. But make sure you've taken this. This is what will help you to move to the next step. Get that conversation with me while it's still complimentary. The next time you want to talk to me, you will have to pay at least a minimum of 1,000 pula. So utilize this chance to get that next level of support for you. So you are welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much, and have a great weekend as you go and finish the Saturday, the first Saturday of lockdown, and with the freedom to go wherever that you want to. And how nice is that? So thank you very much. All right, so this brings us to the end of the session. Make sure you book your next step call. We will also send you a reminder so that if you are willing to take that next step, you can then get a chance to come and talk to me and decide what that next step looks like for you. Thank you very much. See you in the community.